Hi there, it's Claudia Lash, and today I'm going to be talking about sawtooth stars or variable stars because the first block in our 2023 block of the month is a sawtooth star. And now this one is behind, has a frame around it. But I thought as I was thinking about the block of the month, we might see another sawtooth star or two in our work this year. And I thought maybe you might be interested if you're like me and like to do your own thing sometimes. It's very fun if you can take one block and do a whole lot of different things with it. So I remembered that up in my closet I had this older quilt. This quilt I made in 2004, and you can tell by the fabrics that it's dated a little bit. But I wanted to use sawtooth stars, and I wanted to use lots of different kinds. So I made them all of the blocks are sawtooth stars, and there's just a little variety in each one. The one on the far left over there has like a pinwheel inside. This sawtooth star has a full house inside. Oh, and also has little triangles in the points. I don't know quite what I was thinking on this one, but it's a sawtooth star. Here's a sawtooth star with just a center square and a square. Here's one with like a churn dash kind of thing inside, or a shoe fly maybe. Here's a star inside a star with little triangles in the outside. And we could go on. I think there are 13 different designs in this quilt. And I just think it's really great when you have a block that is so versatile that you can put all sorts of different designs in one block and have them look so different, and it's relatively easy to do. So I thought I would show you how I think about an easy block like this. How you can vary the designs pretty easy with a piece of paper and a ruler to figure out how you can make a sawtooth star in whatever way you would like to make it. So you might want to do that on your own with some of the blocks for our block of the month this year, or you just might want to do it just for fun. Diagram of a basic sawtooth star. It's also called a variable star, and you might even see it, well, it belongs in the category of 9-patch patterns, but it's an unequal 9-patch because it has a large center square. So just keep that in mind. I am using some diagrams that I have taken out of the quilt software that I often use. I use a software called Electric Quilt, and I really like it. It's so helpful if you like to design your own things, and you don't have to have it for doing a simple block change up. It's just, if you like to do it a lot, I would suggest that you get something that you like, and EQ is a very good one to use. Okay, this basic sawtooth star is a 9-patch, and as you can see, the center is larger than the other sections. What I think about when I am designing on something like this is the size of the finished square matters. You don't want to, it's not good to try to pick a finished square to end at 8 1/8 inches, or maybe 6 1/3 inches. Those kind of measurements don't work well. But if you wanted to do this block in 12 inches, it works well. Remember as you're designing that the center is going to be twice as big as this side and this side. So if this is a 12-inch block, the center will be finish at 6 inches. The side sections will finish at 3 inches because 3 and 3 makes 6 and 6 and 6 make 12. So that's fairly easy to work with 3-inch finished sections, 3 by 6 inch finished sections, and so on. This also works well if you wanted a 9-inch finished block, an 8-inch finished block, a 4-inch finished block, a 6-inch finished block. So keep that in mind as we are talking about that. And as we're talking about finished blocks are different than unfinished blocks. Remember, when you're talking about cutting things, you want to cut pieces a 1/2 inch bigger, and then they will finish at the correct size that you need. Let's look at some things we can do with this variable star or this basic sawtooth star, if you want to. Let's go on down. Here are 2 possibilities. Instead of having this plain square in the middle, you can put a diagonal line from where these points meet the square on each side. You can go down, come down here, come up here, back up, and end up with a sawtooth star with a square in the middle. You can also do that same design with a square in the middle and color it a little differently, and perhaps even put an extra triangle piece here. A 1/2 square triangle would work in these corners, and you have a totally different look to the block. If you wanted to do these 2 blocks, this one has a sort of a spinning star look to it. It's not hard to do. You just, instead of putting plain blocks here or a plain square, you'd have 4 1/2 square triangles and have them turning this way. Here's another one. This star doesn't have a plain square. Instead, it has a star in the middle, which you can take your graph paper and draw a line across and across at the same dimensions, basically like as the big square out here, and you have a square or a star in the middle. Here's another idea. We have a star in the middle, and we've added some triangles to the corners. If you use triangles in the corners, sometimes your sawtooth stars will look like they're touching one another. It helps the design to kind of move from one spot to the next spot. Here's another one. I believe this star in the center is called a Barbara Frietchie star, I believe. Now, I don't know whether when I did this, if I had these 1/2 square triangles on the edge, because this was the very first quilt I think I ever made. And I remember making these triangles, but I think I might have done parallelograms. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I made that one, but you can do it just easily with triangles. Finally, this is a fun one, I think. This is a Martha Washington star, I think, or there's a couple of other names for it, but I think it's pretty cool in that it's got like a spinning star in the center. And finally, there's this is, I think, like a 16 square star or something like that. I don't remember the exact name for it. But now this is only 8 possibilities. You can take these stars and do all sorts of fun things with the inside. You could just take and put some stripes, stripe some fabric together and put it in here. You could put a house in here like I showed you in the quilt at the beginning. You could put a picture of something you like, your dog. Oh, that might have to be an applique picture. But there's just so many possibilities. You can also add triangles in the background areas. So take a sawtooth star and see how many possibilities that you can come up with to design and make your sawtooth star just what you'd like it to be. Thank you for watching. And if you feel like you learned something from this presentation, go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe so you'll be notified when the next video comes along.